guys, this is Wenzes from Below the Radar Above the System, and now I want to talk to you why it's not always appropriate to go deep with people. This was a topic in the idea pool. Cecilia brought it up, and we talked about it. People got involved, and it was like a good discussion. And there's a lot of truth to that we kind of like say to ourselves or to others, why do they not want to go deep and really talk about it and really go like all the way down to the itty gritty part of who we are and talk about it, and then feel like we're excluded because they don't want to go there with us. And I think we have to understand that it's just not appropriate. Like, I've done this my whole life, and I didn't understand it because it's so natural for me. And I felt like, well, just people, why do they not feel comfortable to go there with me? To talk like really intimately about who we are, what we really want out of life, that we're actually all on this journey, that we're all human beings suffering and wanting peace and so on. That kind of stuff. And really like create a deep connection that is honest and true and, all those things, which is so natural for us. And so we talk to people that way, and they get upset with us. They, go somewhere else, don't accept it. And we feel like, well, they just don't understand me, and, I don't know what I do wrong. All I want is just peace, love, and harmony in a way. And we have to understand that this is just not right. You can't do that with everybody, and it's not as bad as it sounds, because now that we have like this community, we can talk to each other like this because we're comfortable with this. But it's like, I always like to say, like, if you have at ESTPs, for example, all everywhere, if you have two ESTPs, they can yell at each other. I mean, really go off on each other. They can fight, they can really battle it out, and everything will be okay. Like, they don't have a problem with that. That is natural to them. It's natural for them to like really go for what they want in life, because they know, if I go for what I want in life, if you go for what you want in life, there's, everything's perfect. So that does not mean that an ESTP can act all out and be all like, like a warrior and an animal all the time everywhere, because it's not appropriate, although this is his nature or her nature. So understand that all those other types, everybody has something that is important to them that they're really good at, that is just not appropriate, because we live in social spheres where we have to take care of each other and play by certain rules. And it's not just like, this is an external rule, please follow it, otherwise you don't belong to society. What I'm trying to say is, you're hurting people with that. When you go deep with people who are not naturally able to go that deep, every time you push them in that direction, you trigger emotions in them that they cannot control, that they're not comfortable with. And you're pushing yourself inside somewhere where it's not a comfortable situation for you. It's like an ESTP yelling at you and saying, if you have like a drill sergeant who supposed to help you get in shape or, do things like this, and they yell at you and they put all those external force onto you, you're not gonna like it, and you're not gonna be in a position where you can think straight. Because in ESTP, if you're like really into an ESTP's face, they will still be able to think, or that will be their best time, because then they're full of energy, they don't have to repress themselves, and then they can think fast and do what they have to do. They're in their element. If an ESTP really starts yelling at me and putting me down and so on, I'm so out of my element, I can't even think straight. There's no chance for me to really be able to make the right decisions, because I'm so suppressed. And it doesn't even have to be an ESTP. Like, I've had it with ENFJs, I had it with ENTJs. When they try to put too much SE onto me, I can't take it. I can't take it. Like, there's just so much you can really take. I mean, of course, we say INFJs are the ones who can take SE the most, but we can take it because we just kind of like take a step back, and we're not really into the situation. What I'm trying to tell you is, the ESTP wants you to also be SEY so you can vibe on that sphere, and that's something you won't do, no matter how much they push you. And once you think about it like that, maybe you'll understand why it's so difficult for other people to go into NI, FI mode with you. I really mean FI in that matter, because all those feelings you feel inside when you go like NI wise and you go deep, that's FI. That's FI. You feel certain things, the more you go in, the more you also have those shadow functions, or I don't know how you call them, but anyways, those, the FI is like a demonstrative function, as it's called in socionics, so, and you can access it really quickly, like you see that in other types, like with us, it's NI and FI together. That's the depth we go. And that's also where we can connect with INFPs, for example, who also have like FI and their second one inside is NI. This depth we can have the same. This is where we go, and that's where we want to take people, and you can't do that. Like, understand there's just limits. People are not able to do that. Stop expecting so much of other people in that area and thinking, well, I need that. Well, if you need that, find people who you can do that with. Like, my ex-boyfriend was an ESTP, and everything I heard about him was he's a fighter. You don't want to mess with him. All those kind of things. And I heard about fights and just crazy situations. But that was what I heard. He always kept me out of it. Unless like one time he got really upset at me, with me, and he raised his voice. Not like it was on the phone. He didn't really yell at me. He just got mean in a way. And it was just something I've never seen before. And I think because ESTPs can sense that for us, it's very uncomfortable, and he tried to protect me from it. But what I'm trying to say is there's this deep part of him, this SE part, that he doesn't take out all the way on me because I cannot go there that much. And what he did was he found areas in his life where he can do that. He played sports, he was into fighting, he was able to be in situations where you have to put really force in it to feel better and to do things. And once you have that in your life, you don't feel the necessity to put it onto people who can't take it that much. And even if it's with somebody whose second function this is, like if you have, as I said, INFJs and you have ENTJs or ENFJs who are not, who still have NI very strongly, they cannot go that deep with you. There's just limits to that. As much as I cannot go as FE-wise as extroverted feelers can. FE is about holding space for others and, and setting rules and have like unspoken rules. There's so much more decisiveness in ENFJs than I would ever have. And I had to tell that person, listen, I can't take it. If you want to be in my life, then you have to calm that down. I cannot take it. And admitting that was difficult. But I had to first admit it to myself, and then I had to admit it to them. And that's how it is with NI. Understand, you can't take people and expect people to go that deep with you. That's not who they are. NI is very specific, like each function is specific. You want to talk about deep topics, that's what we're for. That's what this community is for. This is why, you have people like us, we can talk about it and share ideas and really help each other to get that out there in a certain way that benefits our life, but doesn't really get it into every intimate relationship in our life. As I made that example with the ESTP, he had like things in his life that gave him this feeling, okay, I have somewhere where I can really put my personal strength, my personal gift in, and then you don't have to do it in the one-on-one with every person in your life to that extent. Like, I don't need to go as deep with the people like I used to, and I needed this so badly because now I have areas in my life that are just NI filled, where I use my vision to create something, where I see how that what I think is really benefiting and making life better for me and for others. And this is how I feel we have to deal with that on a very essential way. Don't expect people to go that deep with you, because it's really not appropriate. You're putting them in situations that are uncomfortable for them. And when you think about how you would feel if somebody would expect you to yell at them, as kind of behavior, you'll understand how uncomfortable that makes you feel. Maybe you will understand how uncomfortable it makes other people to go there. It's okay to the vibe, the you're an NI vibe, that comes off anyways. But you don't have to push it all the way. You don't have to show people, listen, this is how far I can go. And I've seen it with other personality types. When we clash, it's always like this. You always want to put the base function to its maximum. Like when I get upset with ESTJs, it's always like this. They always want to push their TE and see listen, but that's a fact. Understand that. I live by that. And then I just just mentally go somewhere else, because there's just so much you can take. And sometimes it's not so much about repressing that NI. Sometimes it's even letting it all out and understanding that people just gonna walk away, and it's okay. You don't have to be, people can be next to you and they can have still some distance with you. For me, it was a lot about, I'm just gonna put NI everywhere. I'm just gonna lay it out there. Everything I do will be NI, and people will just back off because this is just too much for them. And then from a distance, they accept you for who you are and how you do it and everything. But I don't expect people to come there with me. That's, I think, the main point. So I hope that came across. I think this is also a very important and interesting topic, and hope you like it, and talk to you soon. Bye. My cousin, that I didn't really care, that she was upset, she was giving off this vibe, I'm upset, I don't want to talk about anything. And then you're okay with it. I know it also at work, when I don't get upset if I've done my best and it's not